Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown.
Down.
What? What were you saying?
I said it with you.
Welcome to Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown.
Down.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining. And welcome to Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown. What's up, Mr.M? Good to have ya.
Mr.M.
The man of the hour, the man with the plan, the doctor of the spins, the maestro from the great north woods of Canada. Mr. M is in the house, prompt and on time. Way to go. Thanks for joining us. I actually did some homework too tonight, so got a little info on those 10 beautiful records that you suggested. And my name is Timothy Lee, your host. This is Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown here on the great interwebs YouTube. It is time, folks. It's Thursday night train wreck. We've pretty much recovered. Frankie! Oh, you're welcome. Let's all give a, well, I'm going to wait a little bit, Frank, till more of us join us. But
Hi, Frank.
Frank gets the congratulatory, celebratory high five. Go Eagles go, as they are the Super Bowl champions in the great city of brotherly love, the home of Rocky. And the what do they call them? The Broad Street Bullies, the Philadelphia Flyers, and the Philadelphia Phillies, and the 76ers, the train-wrecking 76ers, and what other teams are in Philadelphia? I don't know. But congratulations, Frankie. Here's a thumbs up for you.
Frank.
Uh-oh. You didn't, man, I figured that would have been the, oh, well, everybody was probably preparing for the Super Bowl anyways, Frank, so we'll give you a pass. I've got my official Real Madrid Adidas jacket on in celebration of their absolutely soul-crushing victory in the Champions League on Tuesday as they overcame the one and only Manchester City. They were down to 1-0, 2-1, and England's own Jude Bellingham scores late in the stoppage time. I think it was in stoppage time to win it 3-2. We are doing better, Frank. We have survived the Pennsylvania plague. We are feeling a little bit better. I had some work stuff going on. Jesse's been busy with work. We're feeling just ducky.
How are you?
John Hip is in the house. How you doing, John?
Hey, John.
Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's good in North Carolina. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it too, Frank. A lot of people are still struggling with being sick. So
thank you, Frank.
Frank, we are so happy for you. I didn't want Kansas City to win, and your boys pulled it off. So that's good to hear. I'm glad you're doing good, John. Good for you. Glad you joined us tonight. Quickly, we're going to still wait a little bit for some, but what we're doing tonight on suggestion of Mr. M, one of the original OGs, is we are going to talk about 10 records, albums, LPs, call it what you want, vinyls, that are celebrating a 50th anniversary this year. So let's go over that list real quick. We have Born to Run by the great Asbury Park's, or Freehold, New Jersey's finest, Bruce Springsteen, who, by the way, was the 7th highest grossing tour in 2024, 244 dates, $251 million. Way to go, Bruce. No, also known as Pennsylvania Polka. Exactly. The Polka King. Okay, number 2 is Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare. The great Alice Cooper from Pontiac, Michigan.
What's also known as Pennsylvania Polka?
The plague, I think, is what he was talking. Or I don't know, the Eagles chant, maybe. Black Sabbath, Sabotage, the great Ozzy Osbourne, and Tony Iommi, Bill Ward, and the great, the one and only Geezer Butler. Queen, Night at the Opera. Yep, you got it, folks. That's the record that spawned us Bohemian Rhapsody, the one and only. R.I.P. Freddie Mercury, the man with the pipes. That's a great record. I mean, that's a great movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it, called Bohemian Rhapsody, I believe. Patti Smith, Horses. Mr. M stumped me on that one, so I did go and listen to that record. It's actually, I realized there's a great version of Gloria on that record with Van Morrison. We'll get into that in a little bit. I also like
Hi, John.
I also like Birdland on that record. The one and only Pink Floyd, the Flying Pink Floyd with WYWH, Wish You Were Here, celebrating 50th anniversary. Neil Young's Tonight's the Night, another great record. Boy, World on a String, folks. If you know, you know. Okay, John. Well, you have a nice evening. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi, John.
Good to see ya.
Aerosmith, the Toxic Twins, Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, Brad Whitford, Tom Hamilton. Oh, who plays drum? The guy with the coffee company. Oh my goodness. I could see his face, and the guy who plays drums. Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic.
In the where? Toys where?
Toys in the Attic.
Oh.
Attic, not addict. Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow, the instrumental wonder. Blow by Blow, what a great record. Boy, if you've never heard Scatterbrain or Freeway Jam, folks, you got to get there.
Mr.
Wow,
M
rock
says, rock and roll, John Lennon is also 50 this year.
Wow. Go figure. R.I.P. John.
Wow.
And the great, the one and only, the band that Keith Moon said would go over like a lead balloon, the high flying. And I'll go into my story why I'm not the biggest fan of theirs, but I do love this record. Led Zeppelin and Physical Graffiti. Oh, Kashmir. Bon Voyage Stomp. Can you get it? It's a great record. A double record, too, by the way. So we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of those 10 records, and I'm sure there's more, but those are 10 that Mr. M picked out. So I pulled some songs that I thought I enjoyed having listened to. There's a lot of music there, and there's a lot to unravel. But I also will fill you in on the dates that they were released and their final Billboard 200 positioning. So that's what we got. That's the train wreck tonight. So let's introduce everybody.
You got the 10?
Yeah, that's 10.
We want to know. Well, finish your thought. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. We've got the great musical mascot, Boots Aramicus, is with us tonight in spirit, watching over my shoulder. We've got the future YouTube high flying, I can't get my finger in there, high flying society man, Timothy Lee, and the great, the one and only, the Vinegar Queen of Pennsylvania, the mediocre looking, the superhuman powered, the hardest working woman on the interwebs YouTube, the great, the one and only, the most special young lady, Jessie Jones. How are you tonight, Jess?
Good.
That's the best you got, huh? Good. Wow. All that. I worked 3 hours on that monologue to introduce her, and I get, how you doing, Jess? Good. Whew, it's going to be a long one, folks. Settle
How are
in.
you doing?
I am doing fantabulous.
What'd you do this week?
What did I do this week? Well, after recovering from the plague and starting to feel somewhat human again, I worked and I enjoyed watching some programming right here on YouTube, our favorite channel, and try to control my thoughts and feelings as some things loom in my possible future. So I'm just trying to clean my apartment today. Mr. M says, first time I heard Patti Smith was on SNL. She sang Gloria. Loved Gilda Radner's skit as Patty. I do remember that. Yeah, that she was.
Did Patti Smith work a lot with
No,
with
Van Morrison.
mhm.
I think it was just that one song. I always, Mr. M, I always associated Patti Smith with, what is it? Beyond the song that Bruce Springsteen couldn't finish was struggling. Beyond the Night, I think it's called, or Beside the Night, or man, I was just singing it earlier. Well, that one song that she made famous that Bruce Springsteen wrote, I know he did it himself as well, but that was always the song that but I do now that I started researching, I remember that record because she was, let's see, how do I put this politely? She was kind of an odd looking woman for the 70s. So.
That's
But
not very nice.
what? Sorry.
Is that all about looks?
Because the night. That's it. Because the nights. As usual, Mr. M.
Was that Patti Smith?
Yeah, but Bruce, it was, so the story I heard, Jimmy Iovine, the very famous Hall of Fame producer, was asking Bruce Springsteen what he's going to do with this song, and he said he was struggling to finish the lyrics. So he said, "Hey, I know somebody that could do something with this," and he gave it to Patti Smith, and bang, you got a hit record. So there you go, folks. Little behind the scenes, inside the music.
Patti
Here on the
Smith
train
made
wreck.
Because the Night, a hit song.
Yeah.
How does that song go?
Because the night is made for love.
Oh yeah.
Because that was written by Bruce Springsteen, though. He wrote the chorus and the melody, but she finished a lot of the lyrics, evidently.
Yeah. That's a
This-
good song.
This train wreck is sponsored by the great country of Colombia and a little Java to keep the pipes lubricated and the brain sharp. Jess has got some Bengal spice celestial seasoning double bag tea for the great Miss Jessie Jones, looking like she's right out of Star Trek with that yellow. You look like you have one of those Star Trek. All you need is a black patch right on your chest right there. You look like you're. But let's get it, folks. It's early. Let's just get it out of the way. Boom. Oh, so what do you think of these records, Jess?
I don't know, but I do want to know what is your favorite 50th anniversary album. What is your favorite?
Okay, out of the 10, wow, that's a tough one, man. There's a lot of good music here. I'd say out of the 10 that Mr. M threw out there, what song? Oh, it's right here. I'd have to say personally, because I've been listening to a lot of it lately, is probably Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen, but that's maybe a cheesy choice. I'm not sure. Obviously Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow, if you're somebody who loves guitar playing type of music, that is one serious hunk of prime rib right there if you're into guitar playing. I mean, Jeff Beck was just, and how can you not love Jeff Beck, who played with the great, the beautiful, the one with the best hair I've probably ever seen on a rock star, Tal, Tal Wilkenfeld. I believe she's from Australia, I think. Somewhere. She lives in LA now, but boy, she is one awesome bass player. I think she started playing it with him when she was like 17. But boy, she's good. So,
I have a question for you.
yes, ma'am.
What did Patti Smith look like?
Google search her. She looked like kind of a man. Short black hair, and she wasn't the most. I mean, she was kind of attractive, but that horse's record, the picture that's associated with it, it's definitely different, I would say.
Mr.
How's
M.
everybody doing tonight? We hope you're all safe and well. We hope you're not suffering from, I don't know, I guess for lack of a better term, I'll call it like this year's pandemic because
Yeah.
everybody was sick. Everybody's really been, there's a lot of people that's suffering around here. So we hope everybody
Just about
else is,
everyone we know has been sick.
yeah. So it's been,
Mr. M says Born to Run is a great jazzy rock kind of album.
no doubt about it. And, you know, and the other thing that makes me enjoy that, Mr. M, is just the whole backstory with, you know, Springsteen, that manager, Mike, I don't know his last name, but, he took the rights, he basically signed away the rights to those records. And then all those years later, he paid them off and got the music back. But I mean, and again, if you haven't read his autobiography, in the making of those records where he was really living on the edge and and he was quite the hard charger back in the day. So I mean, it was really and he's so legendary in New Jersey. I highly suggest if anybody, if you ever get a chance to go to Asbury Park or Seaside Heights or Freehold or Old Bridge or all those areas where I mean, everybody's got a Bruce Springsteen story. Obviously, he doesn't live in that area of New Jersey anymore, but it's quite fascinating. And it wasn't Storytellers, but whatever that thing he did on Broadway, where then Netflix was airing it, that's just fascinating. I mean, to just see him with an acoustic guitar talking about these songs and then playing some music, boy, that's some pretty great stuff, man. So I never, I can't say when I was in high school that like Bruce Springsteen was a thing that people, I mean, I've heard the music before, but I'll be 100% honest. It wasn't, especially living in Chicago, it was more blues. It was more R&B. It was more African American tinged because that's what a lot of people out there were listening to, like say the Brothers Johnson and Earth, Wind and Fire and, that kind of music. And then of course Motown and Marvin Gaye and all that stuff. And then all, Muddy Waters and, what? It's kind of rude to eat on television, Gag, but
That's what I was laughing about.
especially that you're making so much noise doing it. But hey, welcome to my world, folks. Sorry.
Okay, I'll put it up.
Sorry for the Frito and dip. And the best part is, folks, she's like 5'11". She weighs about 125 pounds, and she eats like a thoroughbred horse that just ran all 3 races of the Triple Crown in the last 6 weeks. So, go figure.
Look, I'm not. Look, my fingers on camera.
Thank you for that. Thanks for the small favor. At this point, you might as well just lick your fingers on screen because from your chompers crunching the Fritos. But Bruce's first 2 albums were not big sellers, and Born to Run was possibly his last shot with Columbia. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You're exactly right. Like, I think, what was it? Greetings from Asbury Park, and was not. They didn't do that well, and he obviously, and then you know, it was kind of a slow burn. And then, of course, you know, what was that record before Born in the USA? Or, you know, he hit it huge in the early 80s, but Rivers something. Oh, no, Darkness on the Edge of Town. Uh, that was, you know, then he started really picking up steam. And hey, good on him. And of course, you got the great Stevie Van Zandt, R.I.P. to Clarence Clemens, who was a huge part of the E Street Band, Roy Britton, Max Weinberger from, was it Conan O'Brien fame? Uh, Lots of great players in that band. Now Nils Lofgren, a name from the past. I mean, what can you say, you know? People say eat like a bird, but birds actually eat their own weight every day. Yeah, exactly. Well, she's a human that kind of almost eats her weight every day, Mr.
I
M.
like
So
that.
yeah, that's a good one, though. Yeah, people say eat like a bird, but birds actually eat their own weight every day. Amen. Welcome to
I
America.
like that.
I don't
a
know about
lot.
Canada. They probably don't say that up in Canada, but they say it around here. So one
I
thing
like
that you
that.
will be interested to know, Mr. M, because I'm assuming it might be done up in your neck of the woods. I know it's Quebec, it's huge, but we are rapidly approaching the tapping of the trees ceremonial time here in Northwest Pennsylvania. So we'll be making that great maple syrup, which I know the sugar shacks up in Quebec in the great, I don't like, I know, weren't they trying? Well, Mr. M knows this, but I think they were trying to like get their own country and speak French and like break away from Canada for a while. But
I gotta hand it to you, Mr. M. I have chickens, and that's the truth.
what is the truth?
They eat their own weight
Oh, yeah.
in food every day.
But so
And
we're
if they got some really good goodies, they eat probably more than that.
all right. Try to explain to Frank what Discord is on live streaming.
Hmm?
He asked
You're
Frank.
talking to me.
Yes.
Oh, let's see. Discord, I think, is it's a separate.
The river. That's it.
Discord is like, I don't really know a whole bunch about it, but it's its own separate thing. And you have what, a link or something to it, maybe.
Yes.
If you, we don't have a Discord opened up yet, but if we do, we put a link to it, and so that you could go to it, and you can. From what I hear, because I haven't really researched much, but our good music lover friend Dale Akins told me about it a little bit, that you can talk to people one on one and even see each other if you want to, and things like that.
Yeah, and I think it's more of like a private spot where you can all chat a little bit more easily. And so eventually, I think we're going to go and do that for all of us. But we haven't, you know, there's just been so much swirl. And
You're welcome, Frank.
you're welcome, Frank.
Thank you for
we're
asking. That's a really good question.
we're so happy for you, Frank. We've been thinking about you this whole time about the Eagles winning.
Big Super Bowl win. Congratulations.
I actually
Frank.
watched the game,
And
Frank,
all the
so
Eagles fans.
it was a very weird game. It seemed like Kansas City didn't even care about winning, but they stomped them. So go figure. Now, Mr. M brought up, boy, what a 10-year run. 75 Born to Run, 78 Darkness on the Edge of Town, 80 The River, 82 Nebraska, and 84 Born in the USA. Boy, that is 5 serious sets of records right there, man. That's a great run, and you know, and I'm happy for him. And again, I highly suggest not only the Springsteen on Broadway, I think it still plays on Netflix. I don't know. I don't have Netflix anymore, but I highly suggest you read his autobiography if you're into reading, or the audio book, because I think, oh yeah, he does. I think if you're into audiobooks, he reads the book too, which is kind of cool because he's got that wild voice. So, um, highly recommend that. We're glad you were happy seeing your name, Frank. We were really happy for you. Thanks for being part of the family.
Thank you for your contributions, Frank.
Yeah, Mr. M says, "Wish You Were Here" was written for Sid Barrett, the great Sid Barrett, who was an original member of Pink Floyd, who kind of had a little issues in his mind and uh, kind of went a little loopy and left the band. Um, all right, let's go through some release dates. Let's see how these records were released throughout the year of the great 1975. Frank says my neighbor texted me the other day they were going to have a Valentine's Day party on Saturday. Good for you, Frank, and Frank's going. I bet you got a bunch of hot dates, Frank. You better get a lot of chocolate and roses and all that good stuff. I'm still searching. I think I got about 12 hours to see if I can scrounge up a date, so I doubt it's going to happen. So,
Fantastic, Frank. I hope you have a good time. I
all
know
right.
you will.
So, excuse me, Jess, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So, Born to Run was released on 8/25/1975. Welcome to My Nightmare was released on February 28th, 1975. Black Sabbath's Sabotage was released on July 28th, 1975. Queen's Night at the Opera was released on November 28th, 1975. Patti Smith's Horses was released on November 10th, 1975. The Great WYWH, Wish You Were Here, was released on September 12th, 1975. Neil Young's Tonight's the Night was released on June 20th, 1975. Aerosmith's Toys in the Attic was released on August 8th, 1975. Jeff Beck's Blow by Blow, ironically, did not give an exact date, but it said it was released in March of 75. And Led Zeppelin, The Great Physical Graffiti, the double record, was released on February 24th, 1975. So there's a little bit. Now let's go through the Billboard charting of all those records and the highest rank that they achieved. So Born to Run was number 3 throughout on the Billboard Top LP and Tape. Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare was number 5 on the Billboard 200. These are the highest numbers. Black Sabbath's Sabotage was 28th on the Billboard 200. Queen's Night at the Opera was number 4 on the Billboard 200. Patti Smith's Horses was number 47 on the Billboard 200. Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here was, you guessed it, folks, numero uno, number 1 in the Billboard 200. Neil Young's Tonight the Night was number 25 on the Billboard 200. Another interesting fact about Tonight Tonight was it was actually recorded in 73, but as with most things Neil Young, there was a hold up in getting that record released. The guy always seems to have something going on. He's definitely a wacky dude, but he's very charitable, and I love his benefit concerts that he does in San Francisco every year. That ended up at number 25 on the Billboard 200. Aerosmith's Toys in the Attic.
The what?
Toys in the Attic were number 11 on the Billboard 200. Jeff Beck's Blow by Blow was number 4 in the Billboard 200. And the Lead Balloon, the one and only Led Zeppelin, Physical Graffiti was numero uno. So Pink Floyd, the two British bands, Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin, had number 1 records that year. So 50 years ago, you're looking at number 1 records. I do love Kashmir. That is one crazy piece of music for sure. The other song that I love on Physical Graffiti is "In My Time of Dying," um, and I also like "Black Country Woman." I did listen to that whole record. I haven't listened to it. Again, I'm not a super. I mean, don't get me wrong. Led Zeppelin's a great band. They put out a lot of great music. I just didn't necessarily like what they stood for. I thought Peter Grant was a bully, and I think what they did to Bill Graham at Day on the Green, that last show they did in the I believe it was the last show they did in the United States in '77, was reprehensible, and there was no excuse. And then, like a bunch of cowards, they ran to England, and I don't think they came back. It might have been, they might have played in America after that. I'm not sure. They may not have. But, you know, if you don't know the story, again, that's another autobiography I highly recommend you read about Bill Graham. But they were doing a show at the Oakland Coliseum. One of the guys that worked for Bill Graham, his son, just being a kind of kooky teenager, he saw Robert Plant's and Jimmy Page's name on their dressing. They had like trailers for dressing rooms or backstage or whatever you want to call it, and so he stole those name plaques off those 2 trailers, and Peter Grant, their manager, and some of their road crew found the father and just put the guy in the hospital and beat him severely, and then wouldn't acknowledge they did it, and it was a big kerfuffle, and then Jimmy Page, going out with Lori Maddox, who was 14 years old, and folks, these aren't stories I made up. These aren't Timisms. These are long told rock and roll facts. So, also what happened in Seattle. If you're familiar with the story with the sharks and all that kind of stuff, pretty crazy guys. And I understand that, drugs was a big issue. Jimmy Page had a serious heroin addiction. And on top of the fact that he was, playing with all that black magic, buying Aleister Crowley's mansion and all that kind of stuff. So, and again, that's his own personal choice. Stuff that had happened at the Hyatt House, or as known in the back in the day, the Riot House in Los Angeles. It was crazy. So again, great record though. I'm not gonna say that record for sure was something that I haven't listened to a lot, especially during my teenage years and smoking weed and stuff like that. That was a big deal. So, I get that, but I never really, I still always had an issue with how they chose to do their thing. But then again, they were the greatest, they were the hottest rock band in the world, no doubt about it. So I suppose that was just part of the lifestyle and the way they chose to do things. What are you looking up there, young lady? She's looking up eggs of Coternic quail.
Oh, my heart.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my heart. Look at them.
Okay, how about you be part of the... I see the picture, but how about you be part of the YouTube?
They're so cute. Okay.
Let me...
Look.
You can't see it yet. It's not gonna.
Look at these things.
She's trying to show
my
everybody pictures of.
heart. Oh,
Neil
my
Young
heart.
released Harvest in 71. His
Look at
Mr.
that.
M says Neil Young released Harvest in
Holy
71, his
cow.
commercial album, and decided to hit the ditch. Instead, Tonight was the one of the first. Yeah. Neil Young is definitely something of an enigma, man. I mean, I know he always had issues with record companies and the business, and not that I don't blame him, not that I don't agree with some of his theories on how shisty it was back in the 70s, but I do like that Tonight's the Night is a great record. In fact, when I saw Government Mule do that Halloween show at the Taft Theater, which if you'd like to go back on our page and watch the story that I told about seeing Government Mule on Halloween, you're fine. Take it easy. I I would suggest you go back and watch it, but what they did was they did a whole second set, Mr. M, of nothing but Neil Young, and they played that Tonight's the Night and a lot of other great songs. Man, Crimes, I think it was called Crime in the City. I think that was the name of the song. And then Prime of Life, that was another great one, man. That was a great show. Neil Young was obviously super talented. And Crazy Horse was great when, Rust Never Sleeps. And what more can I say? Let's go through some songs from each record. You guys tell me songs that you enjoyed off those records, like Mr. M's been doing. If anybody went through and listened to any of that stuff, I know it's been a couple weeks. We were struggling last week. Mr. M says, I loved Welcome to My Nightmare album and his TV special and his appearance on Muppet Show. God bless Alice Cooper, man. The guy.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember his appearance
and how crazy is it, Mr. M,
that was cool.
that he's still doing it, man. He's still doing the act, and he's got the great. He had. I don't know how you say that girl's name.
You bring back good memories,
But
Mr.
he's
M.
got like Nina Strauss, who's a shredding guitar player. He's always had a great band behind him, and he's still doing it. Still every summer he's out doing his thing, doing his shtick. I do enjoy that. So let's go through some songs off each album. Toys in the Attic. I mean, obviously these are some of these songs we all know. We've all heard over and over on commercial radio, terrestrial radio. Walk This Way, big 10-inch record, Sweet Emotion, and Round are some that I, caught my eye when I was, and as I listened to some of these records. Jeff Beck's Blow by Blow, it obviously was an instrumental album. I love Thelonious. I love Freeway Jam, and I love Scatterbrain. I love those three songs. I mean, but that whole record is pretty darn strong. Highly recommend you go and listen to that if you haven't. If there's anybody young with us tonight, yep, you still are family, John. You'll always be part of the family. Thanks for your back.
Yep, you'll always be part of the family, John.
Thanks for coming back, John.
Thanks for coming back.
Physical Graffiti, Led Zeppelin, like we just were talking about. Kashmir, In My Time of Dying.
John is back. All right.
In the Light, Black Country Woman, Brown Wire Stomp. There's all four sides of that double record are really pretty strong. So those are just ones I picked out. I was going to do some research, Mr. M. That was a lot of music to listen to, but I listened to pretty much every one of those records one time through at least. Born to Run, I wrote
Was that what you were listening to when I came?
No, I
Okay.
listened to it at work when I was at work. I put the earbuds in, and when I did some walking at work, I was listening to one different record every day.
I would like to listen to the John Lennon one. That would be
10th Avenue Freeze Out,
worth it.
Jungle
Ew.
Land, Born to Run,
Love John Lennon.
Backstreets. Those are the songs that caught my attention. Obviously, again, that whole record, there's not a lot of filler there. Welcome to My Nightmare, Only Women Bleed with the great Dick Wagner. Um, the title track, Welcome to My Nightmare, and Steven. I totally had forgotten about that song. So thanks, Mr. M, because when I went back and listened, I was like, man, that's a great song. And again, the great Dick Wagner's all over that record, man. So
what was the John Lennon one again?
Rock and Roll.
Rock and Roll.
Yes.
That's the album. I'm gonna look that up. I can't really look it up on YouTube because.
Black Sabbath Sabotage, Symptom of the Universe, and Megalomania. Those are two that stood out to me. Queen, Night at the Opera, The Prophet Song, You're My Best Friend, which is my theme song for my one and only best friend, Miss Jessie Jones. Thunder Road. Mr. M says Thunder Road, he got the title from the 1959 film with Robert Mitchum about bootleggers. There you go. How about you join us in the...
I was looking up John Lennon.
Okay. That's a cool fact. Thank you, Mr. M. You were on the
Who
case.
The title from
Bruce Springsteen.
Oh wow.
The song Thunder Road.
Okay.
There's not much filler on that record either, man. I mean, there's not really a bad song on that record. Horses, standouts that got me was Gloria with Van Morrison, Birdland, and then all three parts of the song Land, which I really enjoyed. Having not really been that familiar with that. So that wasn't a bad listen, the Patti Smith record, Horses. So Wish You Were Here, the whole record. That's another one. There's no filler there. I defy anybody to tell me that any of those songs are bad, but obviously, all the parts of Shine On, Crazy Diamond, obviously about the great Syd Barrett, Have a Cigar, Wish You Were Here. I mean, the whole record. Welcome to the Machine. That's a great. You can't really pick out any bad tracks out. They didn't throw any humdingers in there. That's for sure. Neil Young's Tonight the Night. Tonight's the Night. The title track, Tonight's the Night. World on a String. Come On Baby, Let's Go Downtown. There's several other tracks on that record that are great too that I really enjoyed. Let's see. And I think wait a minute.
Rock and Roll is the fifth and final solo studio album by John Lennon, released in February of 1975.
There you go. There you go. The great, the one and only.
Rock and roll songs from the late 50s and early 60s, as covered by Lennon. Oh,
the man from Merseyside.
I've got to listen to that.
John Lennon, rest in peace, my friend. You were taken way too soon.
Thank you, Mr. M. I really am a John Lennon fan.
Let's see.
No idea.
What else was I listening to this week? I would suggest, if you've never heard, I dug a little deep in the archives. I was listening to a band called Hughes Thrall, which is Glenn Hughes and Pat Thrall from the Pat Travers Band. Another great Canadian band who, by the way, I love Pat Travers. I love me some Pat Travers. Mr. M, I hope you got into Pat Travers. I mean, he's something else, man. He's a character. I think he's living in Florida, lives in Florida now, selling CDs right out of his house. You can talk to him on social media. That guy will sell you anything. That he'll put his signature on it and send it right to your house, which I did. And I bought a one. He had released his record. I don't think he had a record deal at the time. And when he sent it to me, it was on a CDR. It was just a blank CDR, no like label thing on it. It was great with his signature. So I love Pat Travers. But Hughes Thrall, I highly recommend you go out and check that out. They weren't. They've got no traction and very little airplay, but that was a band that I really enjoyed. And then the other one that I was digging deep into was Whitford St. Holmes, Brad Whitford from the aforementioned Aerosmith, and Derek St. Holmes from Ted Nugent fame. And they did a record, I believe it was in the 80s, and then they did one here not too long ago, and really, really good stuff, man. Derek St. Holmes is, again, I mean, Snakeskin Cowboy, Strangle, all the great Ted Nugent stuff from the 70s. I know he's a political wild man, but and all the guns and all that stuff. But as far as the music goes, man, you cannot talk American rock and roll of the 70s and not talk about the Motor City Madman, the Wango Tango Man, the Man in the Loincloth and the Rope. I mean, the guy was, again, I don't agree with a lot of stuff he did when he was younger. I mean, he's a different guy now, but in the 70s, he was, I to this day, he says he never did drugs, never really drank or anything like that. So, I mean, who knows? Could be true, maybe not true. I don't know. But all I know is he could shred that Gibson Birdland guitar, and with Derek St. Holmes, he had a great Cliff Grange, Rob Grange, and Cliff. I don't know, but Double Live Gonzo, great record, man. Great record.
Is Frank still with us?
I'm pretty sure he is.
Can he hear the wind chimes? Should we take the phone
Can
off?
you hear the wind chimes, Frank? They are blowing and they're sounding. My neighbor has those up in honor of members of her family that have passed away, and they talk to us every night. So it is kind of peaceful.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet. Yeah.
There must be about 6 or 7 of them out there. Yep, Frankie's still here. So
Hey Frank, let's see. Do you want me to take it out and see if we can hear them?
I just opened the
They
door.
just quieted. Just got quiet.
Oh, you just.
They just got quiet.
She's trying to get you to hear the wind chimes, Frank.
Could you hear them, Frank?
Can you hear him, Frank? Now you got a view of nighttime, beautiful Northwest Pennsylvania. There you go, in the dead of winter. Frank says they make pretty noises.
Oh, they do. Thank you, Frank. Glad you could hear them.
Mr.M, how's the weather in Canada right now? How has your winter been so far? Is it really super cold and just like, has it been like warming up and freezing rain and all that kind of stuff, or has it just been pretty? Is it a normal type? It's too short, Jake. It needs to cover that whole window up. Yeah, we've had a really weird up and down winter. I mean, it's been really super cold, and then we go through a warm spell and everything melts, and then it freezes again, and it's been a wild one, but we haven't really had a winter for a couple years, so I suppose it's been time. So But we're doing good. We're thankful. We're all healthy. Hey, did anybody happen to catch the Fire Aid benefit show
They're really going
2 weeks ago? After we did the last live, I turned that on. Just went home, but I stayed up till like 4 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, and I watched pretty much all of it. I mean, there was some good performances. I mean, Sting played, John Mayer played. It was really great to see those guys from Dawes, where both of them had lost their houses, and it was amazing that they still were in good spirits, and it was an interesting. Some of it I didn't really get. Wasn't Katy Perry and Lady Gaga and some of
Pretty
the.
good. Oh, who was the guy? The older guy? The blonde-haired older guy.
Oh, Rod Stewart.
Rod
Jess
Stewart was rocking.
Yeah, Jess was getting all wound up about the great Rod Stewart. Do you
was
think I'm
rocking it.
sexy? Ba, 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 ba,
was
but
moving around on that
come on,
stage.
baby, let me know.
Better than I could have, I'll tell you that much.
Tonight's the night. Spread your wings and let
I
me
think
come
that it was
inside,
pretty good. They all did
cause
pretty good performances.
the great Rod Stewart, he's still doing it. He's like about 85 years. How old did I say he was? 80?
80, I think.
80 years old. I think I looked it up. 80 years old, and the guy is still doing it. He's got the shirt wide open with the gold chain, and he's still doing his thing. So good on you, Rod Stewart, man. You're still doing it after all.
They did excellent job.
All we missed was the great Carmen Appice on drums. That's the only thing we needed. It's just Carmen behind the kit. So yeah, I hope excuse me, if anybody saw that, I hope if you're in a position that you can find some charitable organization, because obviously it's going to be a while before they can get that all cleaned up, and there was a lot of damage to a lot of places with so much history, and especially with us being idiosyncratic idiots, music meltdown. A lot of the music, there was a lot of music history that Stevie Nicks played. She wasn't bad. She can't sing nearly what she used to, so that was kind of sad. But there was some young people there. Like there was a girl named Olivia Rodrigo, I think her name is. She was actually pretty good, and um, there was some artists that I didn't know who they were, but they were pretty good. I didn't like some of there was some rapper guys that I'm really not that familiar with that, just didn't seem, it wasn't my thing. But I love the way they did it. It was interesting to see all the young kids, and hear some of the people's stories of resilience and the fact that they're still being okay. So yeah. Other than that, it's been an interesting week for my soccer team, Liverpool. We had a 2-2 draw in the Merseyside Derby at the last game at Goodson Park between Liverpool and Everton. We are still atop the table in the Premier League, and we're still rolling strong. So let's go red! I want you all, if you're a fan of this show, support Liverpool and the beautiful stadium called Anfield in the great Liverpool, England. Other than that, like I said, got some exciting changes maybe coming down the way. Still waiting on a few things. We may be changing things up here depending on how this all shakes out. So I'll make sure that the wonderful Jesse Jones, the beautiful, the superhuman powered, the Vinegar Queen of Northwest Pennsylvania, will put a post up if we have to kind of shuffle things around. I'm not sure if Thursday nights are going to work, but we'll just have to see how this all plays out. I'm still waiting, so patiently. And all your support in that would be much appreciated. Your thoughts and prayers. Jess, what do you got for us? What's going on? What's been going on at your house?
Some of
Tell them
the
about BB Button.
some of the songs that John Lennon covered on the rock and roll album, his last album, were Bebopalula, Stand By Me. It's a great song.
Yeah, that's a good one. What else?
Do You Wanna Dance?
And do you want to dance?
Slippin' and Slidin', Peggy Sue.
Peggy Sue.
Yeah, yeah.
Not familiar with that one, but go ahead.
Yeah, yeah by Lee Dorsey, Clarence Lewis, Bob Robinson, and Morris
Excuse me.
Levy were the writers of it.
What else?
The 2 songs on the single were
I like Double Fantasy. That was my favorite.
Yeah, yeah and Stand By Me.
I also love.
I would love to hear that. I'm gonna have to look it up. Thank you, Mr. M. Mr. M is the music guru.
Oh yeah. He is my new mentor in the music biz. I thought I knew a little, but Mr. M, you are the man. I'm definitely not. I like the song by the Beatles called "She Said, She Said." Do you remember that song?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was a John Lennon song. Pretty sure it was. Government Mule does a great cover of that song. I saw him do it in Cleveland. Tell the audience about your new addition to your family called BB Button.
A baby chick.
It's John Lennon wrote that. Watch. Ready? Get ready. John Lennon. By John Lennon. Boom. There it is. Oh, with assistance from George Harrison. Love that song. Not a huge Beatles fan, but go figure. I'm more of a Rolling.
Who did you say sang it?
John Lennon. Because Government Mule did a cover of that, and he said it was a John Lennon song.
Oh, Hammond organ.
Yep, a B3 with the Leslie speaker. All right, tell everybody about BB Button. Come on, engage. Boy, she's back to. She's still trying to eat her weight, Mr. M. So don't worry. She's got stuff waiting in my freezer. She's waiting for me to break the air fryer out. The minute we stop this thing, I'm going to be going to work.
Food.
She'll be chopping. Them choppers will be cutting it, picking it up, and laying it down.
Packing it in.
Go ahead. Tell everybody if they want to. The fans want to know about BB Button.
BB Button.
Hello.
There was a hatch that I had cooking in the incubator. 4 quail eggs and 2 chicken eggs. And turns out only one was fertile. And he hatched. Or she hatched. I'm not sure what. And of course, it thought I was its mom. And I tried to be a good hen mom to it the best I could, being a human. And so every time I wasn't right with it, it would cry and cry, and it was keeping me awake all night because it would cry and cry, even though I had the cot pulled right up to the cage so I could look at it while I was trying to sleep. And it wasn't happy unless I took it out of the cage and put it in bed with me and slept with it.
Excuse me. Whoa.
I laid on my side,
Wait.
tucked it up under my chin like this and slept. And the cats were, one of the cats, Boots over here.
The great, the one and only.
She wanted to cuddle too, so she was on one side of me, and the little baby chick was between us. And then I could get a couple hours of sleep.
There you go.
And this
folks.
went on for many nights in a row.
Welcome. Actually, it ties right in with one of the records that is celebrating their 50th anniversary. Welcome to my nightmare.
Hi, John. What's up?
All right, Frank, we're at the 1 hour and 1 minute mark. So, Frankie, you're on the spot. Now it's up to you. Next time we get together, what music are we going to talk about next time? And then, John, you're up the following week. So, Frank, we're going to need a suggestion for our next topic.
Topic suggestion.
And then, John, you need to start thinking about what you're going to be, because not this week, obviously, but the following time we get together and we all get together as a family, then it's going to be your turn to come up with a music suggestion that we can talk about.
Anything you want to talk about, within reason.
So you are on the clock. AC/DC. Now there we go, Frankie.
Woo, Boom. Frankie! Yeah.
Boom. Well done, Frankie.
All right,
that we can do. Well done, Frank. Good suggestion. Now we definitely can get talking on some AC/DC, folks. How many of you out there in the interweb YouTube land have seen Bon Scott live? Raise your hand. Boom. There you go. So let's
Is that an AC/DC member?
Yeah, he was the original. Well, he wasn't the original singer, but he was the singer that they started to get popular, and then unfortunately he died on February 17th, 1980.
Oh, wow.
And then
you still have your bear, John. All right.
Okay, Frankie, that's a great suggestion. Boom. Frankie on the spot.
Yay!
The man, the legend, the Super Bowl champion supporter, Frank Hines. Back in Black. Can't go wrong. Brian Johnson.
All right,
that's when they really broke it into the stratosphere. Let There Be Rock. For those about to rock, Razor's Edge.
John knows it. He knows more than I do about
Powerage. So, yeah, we got a lot to unpack in the AC/DC world. So, and they're going out on tour. It's coming up in a couple months. I think they're playing in Pittsburgh on May 8th, the day before the glorious day, one of the worst Mother's Day in 1963. My birthday, my poor mother. Priscilla, if you're out there, I love you so much. You're the best mom that any middle child heathen could ever ask for. And I'm so sorry that you had to birth me on your day of the year, Mother's Day. But I love you. And May 8th in Pittsburgh at the, I don't know, it used to be called the PPG Arena. I don't know what it's called now. But, yeah, AC/DC is going out on the road. And I believe...
Frank says, are you going to see them?
Frank, if I hit the lottery numbers, if you can not only come up with great musical selections, but you can give me the winning lottery numbers, I might go and see them. But unfortunately, Frank, that's out of my price range. Those tickets are like $500. And, yeah, it's a long walk here. I don't think my electric scooter's got the range to go 3 hours down the road. So, No, unfortunately, Frank, I'm not. I don't know if I believe Brian Johnson is back and going to be singing with them, but I don't know. Maybe Axl Rose is still doing it. I'm really not sure. And obviously, with Malcolm Young, having passed away, and I don't think Phil Rudd is drumming for them either. So, I don't know if I'd, but that's a great topic. So, everybody, let's get our ACDC hats on. What I would say, what I would suggest for this week's coming music, if you tend to listen to music or you are an earbud or you're ride the bus or the train or you do a lot of walking and you're one of those headphones or earbud type of person, I suggest you go out on the great interweb YouTube and look up a record called Powerage. POWERAGE.
You love spelling things, don't you?
POWERAGE. And crank that record. Kicked in the teeth again. Yowza. Sin City. No, Sin City. Yeah, Sin City.
John says, Jess, I would love to meet you in person. What do you think, Tim? Do you think we could go on tour sometime?
Sure. Well, I'll take a trip and get some North Carolina barbecue.
John says the Gambler, Kenny Rogers.
Gambler, you gotta know when to hold them.
That is
know when to fold them.
Fantastic song.
The great Kenny Rogers. Amen.
I
think he's still alive.
That is a life lesson song.
You gotta know when to hold them.
That's one of the best songs.
Know when to fold them. Know when to walk away. Know when to run.
That is a great song. Where's your
count
hat?
Your money.
Where's your
it's
hat?
on the wall there.
Why?
While you're sitting at the table.
Good one, John.
That's a good one, John. I definitely remember that. Okay, what? You want me to take the Real Madrid hat off? All right, here we go. You guys ready? Wait, it's backwards, guys. You ready? I'm glad you found us too, John. We're glad to have you as part of the family. You gotta know.
We sure are.
Come on, I'm singing. Don't interrupt me. Come on now. Ready? You gonna harmonize with me? You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You don't count your money when you're sitting at the table.
He died March 20th, 2020.
Oh man, he died a while ago. I thought he was. He had that chicken restaurant that never really got off the.
What was the name of the blonde-haired guy that was playing at the fire? The awesome.
What is it, John? What is it that you like about us, John? You gotta know when. Boy, I can sing that pretty good.
What was the name of the guy with the blonde hair at the concert, the fire concert?
Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart.
Do you think I'm sexy and you want my body? Come on, baby, let me know.
He's 80. January 10th.
Tonight's the night.
Oh wow, January 10th.
Wow.
He was 80.
Wow. Frankie, that's a class A suggestion. You are the man, Frank. You are riding that.
Frank.
You are riding that big, huge North Shore that you don't judge handicap. Of course not, John. You're not a handicap. You're one of us. You're a person, just like everybody else. We don't judge you, Frank. I mean, no, John.
We try not to judge anybody because.
Trust me.
You know what is important? It's not all this. It's what's in here that's important.
Say that
That's
again.
what's important.
Say that again, young lady. So, don't forget, John, next week, make sure you have the bell icon hit on your our YouTube channel, so you'll know when we're going to go live again. And then you're up next. Your choice is, it can be, we can talk about Kenny Rogers or anybody you like, but you're going to get the next pick, okay?
John's got some good ones too. Everybody.
You gotta know when. I can't stop singing that song, guys. I like the song. The other one, the other Kenny Rogers, I believe it was Kenny Rogers, the one that he sang with Dolly Parton. Islands in the stream, that is where we are. Remember that song? Yeah. You gotta love one another.
John, we're sorry that you used to get bullied.
No,
I think
sorry about that, John.
Tim says he used to get bullied.
Oh yeah, I know all about that. I got bullied quite a bit when I was younger. And now this beautiful young lady right here, now she bullies me, but it's just part of the way it is. So it is what it is. You'll learn to live with it. Evidently, you must be admitting to that fact because you're laughing. So whatever, it's all good. It's part of life, you know. You gotta know when to hold on, and know when to fold on, know when to walk away, know when to run. You got pull up the words of that song.
Okay.
I think I want to sing the whole thing.
Okay. You got us going now, John.
Boy, man, I can't get off that game.
One.
That's a good one. That's the power of music right there.
Sure is.
I am scared, Jess. Let me name my teddy bear her. I'm not sure.
John says, I am scared, Jess. Let me name my teddy bear her. Yeah. Does that scare you? Okay.
Well, one thing is for sure, on our way down to North Carolina, if we ever take a tour, we're going to stop in Philadelphia because Frankie's taking us. So, Frank, do we go to Pat's for cheesesteaks, or which is the cheesesteak place we go for cheese? Frank said Frank says I got bullied in school, but I was afraid to speak up because I thought that was being a tattle. Yeah, I understand that. Frank,
I'm sorry that happened to you.
But let's get on a more positive subject,
and
Frank.
You know what, Frank? We love you.
Yep, we love you, Frank. We love you, John, Mr.M,
Appio. Love you, all
we hope Appio's safe wherever you are. Obviously, I know life's busy. We're all busy. He's probably out on the road going to some concert. So, can I still name my bear? Of course you can.
You sure can, John. I've had people name their dogs after me. My one friend named her dog after me, Jessie, and Tim told me one time that he had a kitten that he named after me, but that was just a story, so that doesn't count.
Here we go.
I thought there was someone else though. So yeah, the people like to name things Jessie, and I feel honored.
Can't be like just preaching.
Thank you.
So Frank, I'm still waiting. So do we go to Pat's for cheesesteaks, or what's
John says, Jess, you look 60. Yeah, I know.
You are the man, John. You're really starting to move. They sell pizza and they sell cheesesteaks and whole. I know. But what's the best one to go to, Frank? Because we're coming to Philly. We're gonna make a road trip 8 hours away to get some Philly cheesesteaks. Buy it for the whole family. Anybody want to meet us in Philly, and we'll start chowing down some Philly world famous cheesesteaks in the south side of Philadelphia.
That would be
the rough and tumble streets of Philly. There's sliced pizza on Ridge Avenue.
Ooh,
okay, cool.
Sounds good.
I know, but Frankie, we don't want pizza. I'm from Chicago.
We
I-
might want pizza.
No, I can't. The only place I can get pizza from is Deep Dish in Chicago or in New York City. But what I really want is cheese steaks. I know Pat's is really famous, but there's another place that there's two of them. Tim, that's me, John. Uh, there's two places, Frank. It's Pat's and there's another place. I can't think of the name of it.
I look 60 and I feel 90 some days.
I'm not even gonna tell you. I mean, they sell other stuff too. Yeah, I got you, Frank. I got you. Cool. Well, we'll do the Dennis Collins of the YouTube world, and we'll say, give us
Oh,
two
it's
of
a
everything.
restaurant. Is
And
it
then,
good pizza, Frank? Is it good pizza? Sounds good.
and then Jess will chow down. You better keep your hands and anything away from Jesse. Cool.
That's pretty good.
Thanks. I look 77. Great, man. I'm doing good for 77. Look at
That's
that.
pretty good.
At least I still got a little brown in my mustache for
At
77.
least we're aging at the same rate. Because if I look 60 and look 77, you're about 15 years older than me. So we're like aging at the same rate.
Yeah, I guess I am.
So that's
Pretty good.
Good
That's pretty good,
observation,
John.
John.
You got the age separation about right.
Good.
So,
Good. Like that
Cool.
makes me feel better.
I'm 77 and I'm still working. Boy, I did something wrong. I'll tell you. I'm still at it. Still hitting the bricks every day with my lunch pail. My peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Cool,
Yeah,
Frank.
that's a
I'm
good
glad
one,
you
John.
like it. All I know is, Frankie, we are going to go deep in some
Right.
cheese steaks, man. We are going to go deep eating. Y'all should date, Tim. Yeah, well, that's only in my dreams, John. Dreams, you can dream big. It just sadly doesn't mean they'll come true. I tried that already. She's pretty tough to tame. You can't tame them superhuman beings like she is. She's got all them superpowers. So trust me, she got plenty of guys chasing after her. I just get a watch when she picks out the silliest one of the bunch, and then she'll fall in love. So I get a front row seat for it, and then she won't talk to me until she splits up with them. So it's okay. Pray. It's near Calumet Street, Slices Pizza Restaurant. Cool.
Ooh.
All right. East Falls, baby. Philly.
Is that downtown Philly or is that?
No. I think
Is that in East Falls?
you're Frank, East Falls, that's the north side of Philly, correct? Towards Cherry Hill, New Jersey, correct? Or no? And then after we chow cheesesteaks and we hammer all the Philly food, then we head down to
Calumet Street?
Carolina for some barbecue. Oh, okay. It's all right, Frank. I think you're on the north side of Philly, towards, yeah, East Falls. So I think that's towards the Cherry Hill side, the north part of it, like the north. See, I don't know how to.
All right, it's right here. Right here.
You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep, 'cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser, and the best that you can hope for is to die in your... What?
Those are
Those are some
words.
twisted
to live by.
words,
They're not
man.
twisted. That's life.
And when he finished speaking, he turned back towards the window, crushed out a cigarette, faded off to sleep, and somewhere in the darkness, the gambler he broke even. But his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. There you go. Boom. There it is, folks.
Great
Timothy
song.
Lee hammering on the. I will
Great
not
song.
flirt with her or you will ban me. John, you can flirt with her all you want, bro. You want to head into that dark crevasse of superhuman power, you go right ahead, my friend. You flirt away. You ain't going to be the first one. Trust me. I've seen it more than not. In fact, I see it on a daily basis.
No,
Day
you don't.
after day after day after day.
That's not true. No one flirts.
And like I said, unfortunately, the channel will probably be interrupted because once she gets hooked up, then she'll forget about old Tim Tim, and then she'll come back as soon as it all goes south, and then she needs the pieces picked up. No, I won't be mad, John.
John,
it's okay.
you know him better than you think. If anybody flirts with me, he flips. He has
that is not true.
Meltdown.
That is not true. That's not very nice.
Absolute meltdown.
That's not very true. That's not true at all.
And when I say meltdown, I mean meltdown.
You know what? Get over yourself there, youngest child. Wow. This is getting deep. I'm still thinking about cheesesteaks, man. That's all I got on my mind. Frankie, you are the man. Look at that. Hey, folks, I'm going to get close to the camera because you can see that 77 years of beauty right there. Boom. Boom. 77 years of bags under my eyes that look like I'm 91, but I'm still waiting for that cheesesteak because I'm heading to Philly. I'm on the road to Philly to get me some cheesesteaks. Gonna eat me a cheesesteak with my buddy Frank. We're gonna hammer slices of pizza at the Calumet Restaurant Street Slices in East Falls, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Boom. There it is, folks. Look at that. Just
all right. Take Frank on the road with us.
On the fly, man. Yep.
Get some barbecue.
I want to take my channel down. They sell meatball grinders too. Boom. Well, we'll have to order that, man. I'm gonna have to make sure I save up my pennies, Frank. I'm gonna have to start cashing in all my coins.
Ooh.
And chicken fingers. Boom. Look at this. Keeps getting better.
Chicken fingers.
Boom.
I love chicken fingers.
Boom.
Frank, what's a meatball grinder?
It's a sub.
Oh, a sub.
A meatball sub.
What's on it? What's on it?
Marinara sauce and mozzarella and meatballs on a piece of bread on a roll.
Making me hungry.
Come on, lady.
Sounds good.
With maybe some oregano sprinkled along the top, some crushed red pepper, some pimento huida. Boom. They put cheese on it. See, there you go.
Yeah.
Mozzarella, fresh made mozzarella in the great city, the city of brotherly love, the city that Sylvester Stallone made famous in that great movie called Rocky. Remember that, folks?
Was he what John said?
Little Richard Barbecue down where exactly, buddy. That's the next stop. We're going to hit the cheesesteak, the grinders, the sliced pizza, the chicken fingers, and then we roll on down into NC. Into the beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina, Cary, North Carolina, all them great cities. And we're going to get that. And I believe the barbecue sauce that's famous in North Carolina is that red kind of sauce, correct? I believe. And then the South Carolina is that mustard base, like the yellow barbecue sauce. I could be wrong. If you spend more than $20, you get a pizza magnet. Sweet! I guarantee we're spending more than 20, Frank. We're gonna hammer down.
Nice.
You're gonna see the great Jesse Jones pound like 2 foot-long cheesesteaks, plus an order of chicken fingers, plus 3 slices of pizza, plus a meatball grinder, and whatever else that she can put in front of her, she'll inhale it. Sweet potato casserole. There you go. Now, if that ain't the South.
Yeah.
There we go. That is
That
fixins for the
sounds
South.
good.
Actually, what I'd like to get in North Carolina is some soul food, John. Some greens, some fatback, some chitterlings. Get some good old Southern staples. You got to love the Carolinas. I haven't spent
Yes,
that much.
making
I've been in
hungry.
Charlotte, which I wasn't a real big fan of, but it's a big city. But I do love South Carolina. Beaufort, South Carolina, baby. Right off Hilton Head, right near Savannah, Georgia. Wow, that's some gorgeous country, man. Great, great people and great country. So I'm sure North Carolina is just as fine. Just as fine as sweet wine made out of dandelions. Boom. Yeah, I'm wrong. I know where someone's exact. I'm sure you do, sir. And we're gonna be when we hit the food trail, as we take the idiosyncratic music meltdown on the road to
Tour bus.
the great first
As soon as we
Philly.
get a tour bus, we're taking it on the road.
Well, I don't know, Frank. Like I said, I got some job things going on here where some things are going to change, so it might be a hot minute. But what I'm gonna ask you to do, Frank and John, is see this pretty little thing right here. That pretty little thing. That thing. You're gonna have to start working on her and saying y'all gonna have to take a road trip because she's going to be the one. My scooter can only make it about 20 miles, so it's going to come down to the sweet little thing driving. So there you go, boys. That's your project. Not only bringing up great music suggestions like next week in the great Frank, the Super Bowl champion, the hero of the week, the man, the legend, Frank brings up AC/DC, which is what we're going to be talking about next week. And then John is up next. I've already done my rendition of The Gambler and all those great. Ooh, Randy's breakfast. There you go. Some biscuits and gravy.
Ooh.
Some ham steak. Because we
Yeah,
know
breakfast?
we know they know how to. It's probably the name of a restaurant.
Is Randy's breakfast a restaurant?
We know they know how to raise hogs in North Carolina. We doing some whole hog BBQ, North Carolina style, Southern style for all you Northerners like us. So, you boys, every week you're going to have to hammer, Frank, John, you're going to have to hammer that wacky, superhuman powered 60-year-old mediocre looking girl. And you're going to have to say, get on the road, kid. Let's roll it up, pack a bag, and let's hit the open road, like Roger Miller said.
Ooh, grits.
Grits. Oh, yeah, man. How many grits, baby? Woo!
We need to have
Now we're talking with a big dab of butter. Boom, man.
Southern food
some
night.
Cheese grits. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Next
Actually,
time.
it's funny you said grits, John, because when I was in South Carolina, I had this shrimp with grits at this place. Where was that at? It was outside of Beaufort, and man, that was some good eating, my friend. Yikes, that was good. I can't remember the name of that town. I sent you pictures of it when I was there. But boy, that was good. And I love Savannah, Georgia too, by the way. What a great, amazing, gothic, southern, most friendliest people, so polite people. I don't know what it is about the North, but they didn't get that lesson. But y'all in the South, y'all people from the South, the only thing that I do have a little bit of is when you go to the gas station and you fill your car with petrol or gasoline, don't sit at the gas station and have conversations with your 9 cousins for an hour because there's other people trying to get gas in their truck. And I was driving this hot rod Chevy Z71, and I'd have to wait forever to get gas because these people would sit there and talk while they already paid for the gas and they're already gassed up. But that's a Southern thing. That's how
You
y'all
were just
roll.
mad because you didn't have someone to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. I was just mad. No, I was mad because I was trying to get to Savannah. But anyhow, yep, I bet you were raised over it. You will probably not know what I look like because I think I sing. Yeah, I know what you look like, Frank. You sent us a picture on my email. We saw it. We know.
Yep, we like
We'll
your
be
pictures.
rolling into East Falls, and then we
Thank
also,
you for
Frank,
sending pictures. We
the
like
one
them.
thing, if we ever get there, we also want to make sandwiches with you and spend a day doing some volunteer work and passing out sandwiches with you. That would be a blessing for us.
That would be awesome.
So, all right, y'all. We're 1 hour and 31 minutes. We're 91 minutes in, and I think we're gonna.
Ooh, grits.
I think we're
bacon
gonna.
Bacon and grits. Is that bacon?
I believe it is.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So I think what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up, y'all. I had a great time. Thank you, Mr. M, so much for the great suggestion. Let's go through those 10 records celebrating. As you can see by the sign, I'm ducking the way. See, I don't know if you can see the...
Frank says we do sandwiches every Saturday. That's
Well, then we're going to make sure, Frank, that if we can get ourselves out to the beautiful, the wonderful, the fantabulous, the amazing, the extraordinary city of brotherly love and the great East Falls, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We're going to be there on a Saturday because we really would like to be involved in that. And we'd like to see all the beautiful friends that you have, Frank, and all the great people that help those in need and really appreciate. And I know for me, that would be a treat of a lifetime, more than any amount of money could ever buy me. So hopefully someday, Frank, we can make that happen. Let's go through these 10 records really quick again, and we'll wrap this thing up, and we'll end this train wreck, and we'll head into next week knowing we're going to talk about who, Jesse?
AC/DC.
Boom. Alternate current, direct current. From down under the great Australia, the one and only Bon Scott, rest in peace. Malcolm Young, rest in peace. Angus Young, Phil Rudd, Cliff Williams, Mark Evans, and everybody that's been associated, Chris Slade, and everybody who's been associated, Stevie Young, who now plays with them, everybody associated with AC/DC, you're up next. From the great, coming at you live from East Falls, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All right, so here's the 10 records that are celebrating 50-year anniversaries this year. Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run, boom. Freehold, New Jersey. Way to go, Bruce. Thank you for being you. Alice Cooper, Mr. Pontiac, Michigan, the one and only, the Coop, the man, the legend. Welcome to my nightmare. Black Sabbath, Ozzy, we love you. We thank you for all you're doing. Tony Iommi, the great Geezer Butler, and Bill the Man Ward. Sabotage. Queen, Freddie Mercury, the great Brian May, Roger Taylor, John Deacon, boom, Queen, Night at the Opera. Patti Smith, Horses. I apologize if I offended you, Patty. It's not the most flattering picture, but you're still one heck of a, as they would say in the 70s, broad. Well done.
It's not the picture that counts, it's what comes out of the mouth.
Exactly. Pink Floyd, the great Pink Floyd, Roger Waters, David Gilmour, Nick Mason, Richard Wright, WYWH, wish you were here. Welcome to the machine. All right. Neil Young, Tonight's the Night. Neil Young, tonight you gotta know. Oh, that's Kenny Rogers. My bad. The Toxic Twins. Joey Kramer, that's the drummer. I knew I would have bet. See, it took me 1 hour and 35 minutes to remember. Okay, so we got the Toxic Twins. Steven Tyler, whose real name, by the way, is Steven Tellerico. Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, Brad Whitford, Brad Hamilton? No.
John says, I want to talk.
Okay. Well,
Shoot, John.
Go ahead, John.
It's hard to get a word in edgewise when you're around this dude.
Toys in the Attic. Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow.
The vocal.
Led Zeppelin,
sphere.
Physical Graffiti. Thank you, Mr. M.
He likes to dominate the vocal sphere everywhere he goes.
He's so far from the truth.
Unless he's mad at people, then he won't speak to them.
Wow. Yeah, okay. So that's the 10. Thank you very much, Mr. M, for this suggestion.
So the key is to try to get him mad at you.
Go ahead, talk to John. I'm mad because he's flirting with you. Go ahead, talk.
The best way to get a word in is to get him mad at you. Then you can get a word in maybe.
Go ahead.
Sometimes.
Here.
And you and me. We're running the show now.
Come on, 60-year-old hotness. Take over. Take that 60 years and start rolling, girl.
John, you got the keypad. We want to hear you talk. Oh, you're not bothering us, John.
You're not bothering us. You're not bothering us at all.
Love your company, everyone. We're going to wrap it up because I got a long day of work tomorrow.
We're glad you came back and joined us and did a little food talk, which we can do some more.
We want to thank Frank.
Okay, so Frank said they do the sandwiches at 8 a.m. in the morning. Well,
John,
we'll be up early.
And everybody else who joined us.
Okay, we're going to do a little camera turn. We want to thank everybody who joined us. Thanks, Mr. M, for the great suggestion. Happy 50th anniversary to all those great records and all the other ones that were released in the great 1975. Excuse me? What? Thank you for joining us all. Thank you for all being part of the family. We're just two kooky people having fun. We appreciate.
We gotta do a camera. Come on. I don't really have anything to say.
Why? Oh, you.
No. We just like doing that. Fun.
You just want to get your 60-year-old hotness in that. Okay, let's get. This is what America looks like at 60, folks. Boom. Here, watch this, folks. This is 60. This is 60 in America. Look, we're gonna zoom it in closer. Come on, put the thing down. Put it down. No, we're not putting glass up to your cheek. Come on, put the. You know what? All right. Evidently, she don't want to have. Here we go. Yeah. Well, there you go. That's what you get with the great Jesse Jones. Thank you for all joining us. Bless you all. We hope you all have a safe week. We hope that God is with you this whole week. We hope that you can enjoy. You can exert happiness into somebody's life. Let's be a kinder and gentler America and Canada and all the countries in the world.
John's gonna be 30, and Frank still hears the wind chimes. Frank, you got good ears.
Yeah, they're singing tonight, Frank. I'm gonna sleep like a baby because I can hear them all the way up in my room too. So
30's a big
peaceful.
One. 30's the big one.
Yep, that was 30. So that was 47 years ago for me. That was 30 years ago for her. So we're well past past them that birthday, but good for you. Happy
It's been a
birthday.
long 30 years.
We want to thank everybody for joining us for this train wreck. We had a great time talking about these great records
We
and the
had a
50th
wonderful
anniversary.
time. We
Let's
missed you.
let's
Missed you
remember
all.
the power of music. Music can soothe your soul. Music can comfort you. Music can uplift you. Sometimes music can make you cry. Sometimes it can make you remember. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know
Great
when to
song.
run. So
Great
there you go.
song.
That's the power of music. Let's always remember that, folks. There's so much music. A lot of these guys are passing away. A lot of the people that created this beautiful art have gone on to the other world and the next life. And so, but you know what? The music is here in perpetuity. It can never be taken away. So enjoy it. It's right here on the great YouTube, our home channel, the channel that we don't do all these other social media sites and all these other streaming sites that you can do things on, but we do it here on YouTube. So enjoy it. Take advantage of it. So we love all you guys, Frank,
John
John.
says I have cried to my sister's son. Aw, that's the power of music.
That's the power of music, John. So we
It
hope you,
helps,
John. We
they
hope
all.
you have a great week. Thanks for
Slice Pizza restaurant opens up around 11 every day. Oh, okay.
All right. Well,
And
thanks for reminding me that I'm 70 and Jesse's 60. Mr. M, we thank you for the great suggestion.
That seems about
Appio,
right.
wherever you are today, I'm sure you're traveling to some concert that's going to make me even more jealous than I'm already am because you always got some show you're heading to. So we hope you're safe wherever you're at. Anybody else who is lurking out there that didn't decided not to chat, thank you for joining us. Bless you.
We'd love to hear from you.
Bless you in this coming week. Stay warm, stay dry. We hope that you have food, shelter, and most importantly, we hope that you're healthy. And don't forget to think about all those that are suffering in California with what happened. Thank God that they're starting to get some of that under control.
You'll get over it, John. You're okay.
Don't forget that the Red Dragon is in control. We are a red state. We are a red country now. And go get him, Donnie, instead of go get him, Ronnie, is now taking command of the ship. And so for
what
those.
were you calling him?
No, go get him, Donnie.
No, there was another name you had for him.
The Red Dragon.
Don the.
Oh, Donnie the Dictator. But. No, back. Okay, let me wait. Now we're gonna make another 2-hour ending. So basically, what I was referring to back in 1980 when the great Ronald Reagan was elected president, we used to call him "Go Get Him, Ronnie." But now it's 2025. It's a new day. It's a new country. We're back on track, and we got "Go Get Him, Donnie" to the rescue. So there you go. We love all you. In all seriousness, Jess, what do you have to say in closing?
John says you are my favorite, Tim.
Well, thanks, John. I appreciate that. I wouldn't say it too loudly because 77-year-old men's head could get a little big and explode because you gotta know when to hold them. So come on, what do you got to say in parting? What do you got to say? Say, close it up.
We missed you all. We're sorry we're gone for 2 weeks, and we hope we can make it more regular. We had so much going on, but it was so nice to see everybody again. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Remember, folks, next week
You'll be in our hearts.
AC/DC
all week.
AC/DC next week, and the record that I suggest you listen to, because I'm going to talk a lot about, is called Power Urge. POWERAGE. Frank, congratulations. We're so happy for the city of Philadelphia. We hope they didn't burn it down and do all the crazy stuff they do on the left coast when they win stuff. So hopefully everybody's safe out there. We're so happy you won the Super Bowl. We really care about all of you. It means so much that you continue to take your time. We know that you're all busy and have things going on. So bless you all. And
the chats weren't coming up.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Why? Okay.
Yeah.
It's great seeing you again. Again, this may change because of, you know, certain work things that are happening in my life. So as soon as I know if things are going to change, then we will let you guys know. Look for the community post section, and then we'll try to figure out how we can legislate this into our life. Because unfortunately, John, at 77, I'm still grinding, still taking that peanut butter and jelly sandwich to the coal mine every day. So, you know, it is what it is. Evidently, I'm going to be 87 and still working. So, the great Jesse Jones is with me, Boots, everybody. Again, thank you, Mr. M. We love you all. We thank you for being part of our family. Remember, the power of music, it can soothe the soul. So don't ever take that for granted. It's always out there. You can find it right here on YouTube. You can find it in Celestial Radio if they have that in your area. You can find it everywhere. So go out and find it. Listen to something new, maybe that you haven't listened to.
Someday we'll call maybe.
Yep, we might be coming down. So you guys have a great week. We love you all. And remember, as always,
Music Meltdown family.
Idiosyncratic Idiots Music Meltdown here on YouTube. Remember, Jess, let's tag it out together.
Music
Always.
Meltdown family.
Ready? 1, 2,
Let's
3.
all say it together, fam.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Keep it loud. Let's try that again, folks. Let's try that again, folks. Because come on, Jess, you say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Keep it loud. Good night, everybody. We love you all. Have a great week. Be safe, and we will see you next time. Bless you all. Good night.